Hey guys, yesterday I went and saw a horror movie double feature of two recent horror movies that came out over the last month or so. Before I actually start talking about those movies, I do want to reiterate something I put on my Facebook, so I will put it on here for people who don't follow me on Facebook or friends with me on Facebook. Um, just like last year, I am going to do horror movie reviews for the month of October. It's going to be very scattershot when they come out. These reviews come out, but because I'm very busy at the moment, I'm still working my second job, and I only have one day off a week. But next week I do have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off, and I plan on knocking a lot of those movies out on those 3 days. So I'll probably have a lot of reviews next weekend. But there are some I gotta wait, like Halloween. I plan on reviewing such movies as The Nun, Hellfest, Tales from the Hood 2, can't wait, Revenge, Mandy. What the fuck was the other? Now I'm forgetting all the other fucking movies I want. Revenge, Mandy, Veronica. What the hell is the other? God damn it, I gotta look it up. The new Halloween movie, of course, and Bad Times at the El Royale. And so it's gonna be a mixture of both theatrical releases and movies that I have been. Actually, I think there's one more. I'm forgetting one more. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm forgetting one more, ain't I? Revenge, Veronica. That's it. All right, yeah. That's all right. Yeah. They're gonna be Hellfest, Bad Times, and all right. But anyways, yeah. That's what I was planning on doing. Is those movies. I even got it. Like I said, I got a request for somebody that's a friend of mine to do Tabitha on Facebook to do a review for The Nun. So that is my first review, which is The Nun, a movie that came out a month ago, but here I am reviewing it. This was a movie that I kind of debated originally doing a review for the month of October, but then I was like, fuck it, I already got too much. But I got a request to do it, so here I am. Tabitha, thank you for the request. This was a movie, honestly, I don't know why I did not go see this in the first place, because I have seen the other Conjuring movies and the other spin-offs, so fuck it, why not watch this one? I wasn't interested in this movie. I love the first two Conjuring movies are fucking great. They're two of my favorite horror movies the last 5 years. But the spin-offs have been fucking terrible. I've not been a fan of the spin-offs from the Annabelle movies to the Annabelle movies were the spin-offs that have came out so far, and they're making their own universe because every fucking movie franchise has to have a universe. Thank you, Marvel. But it's okay, whatever. For my review for The Conjuring 2, I thought The Nun was fucking the creepiest part of the whole movie, but I really didn't need a backstory behind it, but whatever. And I've actually heard from a few people that weren't critics that I actually listened to their opinions on. People telling me it was actually not bad. I was told by people it was not bad. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll check it out. It's there's worse movies to go fucking check out than this. And, yeah, I was not a fan of this. I'm sorry, Tabitha, anybody who was waiting for my review for this. I was not a fan of it. I was not. It's not the worst movie I've seen of the year. It's far from it. I guarantee it won't make my top 5 list of the worst movies of the year. There's positive things I could say about it, but it's just everything that I hate about horror movies nowadays is all bottled up into this fucking movie, and every cliche it was just really a nothing, uninteresting, pointless movie that just didn't need to exist. There was never, by the end of it, it was like, that was kind of fucking pointless. Like, did I really need this movie? I'll get into positives. Like, I'm a fair man, so I'll be positive. The acting is good. The acting is really good in this movie. Pretty solid. Like, everybody pulls off. There's not a bad performance in this movie. I especially like the guy who played Frenchie, who was the comedic relief. He's the guy who delivers food to this covenant of nuns, who discovers the dead nun at the beginning who hangs herself, and that's how that's basically what jumpstarts the whole movie. And he's like he's not like one of those comedic reliefs where he's annoying and useless. He does he's pretty funny. He has some pretty funny lines, and he's not annoying. He's kind of like, he plays the douchebaggery character at first, where he's hitting on the main nun of the movie, but then he's generally a pretty funny dude. Like, his reactions to a lot of things that happen in this movie are pretty much what I probably would imagine my reactions would be. But but like I said, I like this character. I like Demian Bashir. I was like, he was a guy throughout the whole movie. I was like, I know I've seen that fucker in something before. I didn't recognize him. Like, and then I liked when the end credits were playing, it says Demian Bashir, and I'm like, oh, sweet. I said he was the guy who was in The Hateful Eight, and I think one of the Machete movies. I know he's been in other. That's what I know him from. And I liked him in The Hateful Eight. But yeah, he was pretty good. Like, I think this is the second movie really I've ever seen him in, but I like him. He's pretty solid as a lead. He plays the father in the movie. The main actress in the movie, who plays the nun, who you follow her throughout the majority of the movie. I mean, it cuts between her and the father as they're investigating what's going on in this Abby. She's Vera Farmiga's sister, which I was wondering, like, when I saw that she was. I didn't even know, first off, Vera Farmiga had a sister. Vera Farmiga is the girl who plays the Lorraine Warren from the Conjuring movies. So I'm like, is she gonna have some relations to the Lorraine Warren character in this movie? I mean, these movies already are okay. I'll get into that in a second, but these movies are already not really based off of facts. So I mean, they've pretty much been based off quit being based off a true story like fucking 5 movies ago. So I'm like, they could make up this. They're making their own Conjuring universe. I mean, have them connected by being related. But no, like, because she looks just like fucking Vera Farmiga. Like, good Jesus God, she looks like a really young version of her. But yeah, she's really good in this. This movie has elements of a good horror movie in it. Like, it feels like James Wan. There are parts of this movie where it feels like the people involved have worked with James Wan on the other Conjuring movies, the first 2 Conjuring movies, and took some notes on what made those movies good. Like, they have some of the elements that I love about fucking the Conjuring movies, where it'll be just a quiet scene, and then like a character walking, and in the background just randomly will be just a nun or something else creepy going on in the background, and there's no fucking drawing attention to it for a little bit. And like, it's like, okay, you got me, movie. Like, there's a lot of creepy tension, and it has like, really nice setting. I love the setting. It looks creepy. Everything about the movie looks creepy. It's well shot. But this movie is everything I hate about horror movies nowadays mixed into one. In this fucking movie, where it's just jump scare after jump scare after jump. There's literally parts of this movie where it can't let it fucking self breathe for like 2 seconds without a jump scare or something like, woo! Like, it's literally just a fucking, it's basically what horror movies have become nowadays is basically all those like pop-up scare videos. You know, those like ones where you're looking at something, you're trying to look something at the screen, something it pops up at you. That's what basically horror movies have become with jump scares. It's like somebody said one time, it's like it's a bunch of like, it feels like somebody just going boo, boo, boo at you like for an hour and a half, and it's fucking annoying. Like you can see all the fucking, like, it's just like you can't let moments breathe. You like, there are moments where you're just, there's quiet, creepy moments, but it's gotta be immediately followed by something really fucking stupid jump scare that isn't scary. There's always those fucking fake out dream sequences that I hate so fucking much in horror movies nowadays. There's many of those in this movie, and fake out sequences altogether. Like, hell, at one point in this movie, what the fuck? I forget what. Okay, so I was having, one of my other problems with this movie was I was having problems with the theater that I went to see it at, because for some reason they decided to fuck with me. Because before the movie started, commercials were playing in front of this movie, and there was no fucking sound. I waited a few minutes, and I was like, I guess they didn't realize, because I was the only one in that fucking theater, and in that screening for The Nun, and I'm like, I guess they didn't realize there was somebody in there, so I had to go say, "Can you guys please turn on the sound?" So they did. When the preview started, right before the preview started, they turned on the sound. So cool. About an hour into the fucking movie, they decided to turn the lights on. Like the overhead lights on. Not all the way, but enough where the fucking lights were shining on the screen. And again, this movie is dark as shit. Which, I mean, it's a horror movie. And so when you have lights shining on a screen, sometimes it's not easy to fucking see what's going on in this. So I had to fucking, I hate doing this. I rarely ever do this, but I was like, okay, I gotta go fucking out there and say something. So like, I'm already an hour into this fucking movie. I'm like, I could just say it, but it's like, it's bugging the hell out of me. So I'm like, fine, I'll just go do it. And like, so I walked out. It only takes like maybe 2 minutes. Walk out, and like, I forget the scene. What the fuck? What happened in the scene? I don't remember what the fuck it was. I was kind of drifting in and out of this movie, but like, next thing I know, she's praying. I come back in. The main character is fucking praying with a bunch of nuns, and they're all fucking frantically praying while the fucking evil demonic. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I was really confused. I only missed 2 minutes of this movie. Like, what the hell is going on? But I did catch it later. I was like, I didn't like this movie. Oh, I will. Another positive I will say about this movie. I'll give it this. And I've said this, I think, about Animal Creation too. That I kind of liked how they kind of found a way to link this movie up with the events of the Conjuring movies. Now, of course, The Nun was in the Conjuring too, but they also find a way to kind of interconnect a main character from this movie to a little side subplot that was in the first Conjuring movie. I won't give into spoilers, but it was kind of creative. I was like, alright, I kind of like that. That was actually pretty cool. I actually really liked that. I liked how they did that. I was really kind of creative. I give this movie credit. I liked how they connected the movies, like some of a main character from this movie to the Conjuring movies, and not just being the movie wasn't just being connected by just having the demonic nun. I was like, that was kind of creative. I liked how they did that in Annabelle Creation. I didn't expect that. Well, I mean, I knew it was somehow gonna do that, but I was actually genuinely surprised. Yeah, like I said, I was not a fan of this movie. It could have been a lot better. It just could have been. It had elements of good horror movie, but then it just it didn't work for me. If anybody's saddened that I didn't like this movie, sorry. Like I said, I didn't. It was an hour and a half. I'll give it that. Trailers. I got only one new trailer, the Shazam trailer. I hadn't seen this yet. I like Zachary Levi. I was a big fan of that show Chuck when it was on. I thought that was a really underrated TV show. People have never watched it. Fucking go watch it. But I always thought that guy was really fucking funny and charming as hell. And I'm all for him, like, getting, like, but, man, you're, okay, I didn't even notice was, like, a superhero movie. Like, only reason I knew it was a superhero movie, because before right at the beginning of the preview, it says DC Comics. And it's about this random kid who gets adopted, and he's beating up these bullies, and I'm like, what the fuck DC movie is this? Is this like Aquaman? Like, it's like, this is a new trailer for Aquaman or something? And I'm like, what the hell is this? And then Zachary Levi just randomly pops up as Shazam. I'm like, that was a weird, like, it felt really weird how it transitioned into that. Like, a movie about Shazam. I'm like, that was really weird. I remember I took a class about comic books in the film, and I watched some old serials. I forget wasn't Shazam originally called Captain Marvel? Am I wrong in thinking that? That's why I always get these two fucking confused. I swear to God, Captain Marvel was Shazam was originally called Captain Marvel. Am I wrong to think that? Somebody in the comments tell me. But I remember the story being goofy as shit, like the comic being goofy as shit. So it's like, man, DC is on its dying legs right now. It's on life support. DC Universe is on life support right now, like Henry Cavill leaving, and it's just a disaster. Like, they need to fucking just hit the reboot button. Like, I know they got a fucking Wonder Woman sequel coming out. Like, I don't know what the fuck. Like, I have no idea. And, like, it's like, you got Aquaman and Shazam. I was like, fuck, I forgot about Shazam. Like until this preview popped up, I forgot about that fuck movie existed. But it's like, man, I don't want DC to, like, die, but man, it didn't look that promising. This didn't look that promising. Like, this is not going to save the fucking DC universe. That I don't think that much, or near is Aquaman in my opinion. But that's just trailers ago. I have one more review to do, and until then, I'll talk to you guys later.